KOTNmedia fans. Got a very special guest today in Phil Salty. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Mate, I just want to go talk a little bit about your career. Obviously, absolutely killing it for the Strikers at the moment, and much loved by the Adelaide crowd. The Strikers, how did that opportunity come about? Was it a phone call, or talk us through how that first come into play?
I sort of had an idea. There was a conversation going on because we had Keza over playing Sussex at the time, and he was asking me some questions about would I be interested and that sort of a thing. And then we played against Australia A in a 4-day game, and Hetty was there, and I had a little chat to Hetty about it. And then a couple of weeks later, my agent got in touch with me and said, "Yeah, Strikers are keen to offer you this opportunity," which I jumped at.
So from that, the opportunity. So how many years have we got you for?
Just the one as it stands.
One, and will we see you come back if the offer's there?
I certainly hope so, yeah.
No, I think all of Adelaide certainly want you there. And talk about the Adelaide crowd. They're very passionate sports supporters, and sometimes maybe not in the best of ways. They can be on you and off you. How have you dealt with the social media and that coming over to Australia and with the Strikers? Because there's a few passionate fans that give you their peace of mind.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. There's only been, a sort of select few. They're always the same. It's like how it goes. But the fans have been good. It's sort of every cricket team, every sports team in the world says, "Oh, our fans are the best." But coming to Adelaide and playing against the other teams at their grounds, it is pretty obvious that we do have the best atmosphere and the best fans and the best support in the competition.
No, they're absolutely fantastic. And your knowledge of BBL prior to coming over this year, had you followed it in the past or been around it?
It's on at quite a good time in the UK. So normally you wake up in the winter and it's just straight on the box, whether it's a 7:30 start or 8 or whatever it is. So normally watch that and then get on with the day from there. You normally miss sort of the second half of the game because you'd have to go to training of your own, but it gets a lot of airtime in the UK and people do follow it closely.
And with that as well, obviously, before the Strikers, you've spent a bit of time over in the PSL as well. What was that opportunity like to head over to Pakistan, or playing previously games in Dubai, this year heading back and you'll play some cricket in Pakistan, but what's that opportunity been like as well?
The opportunity's been great. It's definitely, as the leagues go, the league where I've learnt the most because the cricket's been so different, the wickets are different, the bowling's different. You get a lot more reverse swing there than anywhere I've ever sort of played, which is another factor that you sort of have to learn pretty quickly. So definitely the toughest, most different cricket I've played, but I've loved the opportunity, to play out there and getting another crack this year with Islamabad, going back to them, which is brilliant, and hopefully more of the same. Hopefully we go one better than last year and lift the trophy. And
obviously this year being the first time that it's going to be all played in Pakistan, so very exciting for the locals as well, but must be exciting for you boys to be able to get over and play in front of those crowds, which should be able to pack a stadium.
Yeah, definitely. The passion for the game when we went there last time was just unbelievable. The wall of noise that was all around you when you were on the field was like nothing I've ever played in front of before, and it is definitely something you have to experience as a player because there's not many other places in the world you get that.
And at a young age, mate, was it always cricket for you?
It was football for a long time. Like our football, not your football.
Soccer.
Yeah, football. It was always that for me, but then I never sort of grew. I couldn't really run or kick the ball, which are two pretty big problems.
Sounds like myself.
So no, cricket took over when I was 13, 14, and I got a scholarship to go to a school in England when I was 15. So I guess it sort of took over from then.
Was there a player that you would watch? Obviously, a lot of great English cricketers back in the day, and a lot of blokes that batted plenty of time. Probably the opposite the way you play the game. Is there someone that you idolised growing up?
Yeah, I used to like KP. KP, obviously, I don't bat anything like him really, but I like watching him. I'd actually say now I have more players that I like watching. Like I love watching Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, those sort of guys. There's definitely a lot more players I look up to now than I did then.
Yep.
Yeah.
And from there as well, you get go to Sussex, and you've now been at Sussex since about 2014, 15 on the senior list there.
Yeah.
Getting to such a club like that in county cricket, it must have been a real honour and a great place to be around.
No, it's a great place to be. We've got a good squad down there, and we're very good. We're probably a trophy or two shy of what we could have gone on to do with how strong we are, especially at white ball cricket over the last few years. But we're actually quite a young squad as well, so we're always learning.
And mate, last year, early in the year, get the opportunity through illness or injury to David Milan, you get called up to be a part of the English squad for the 2020. To be, obviously didn't play, but to be around the squad at that time, how was that for your development and going forward as well as an experience?
It was good to just know that I was on the radar more than anything else. It was great to get in that setup and have those conversations with the coaches and see where they view me and that sort of thing. But more than anything, it was good to just know how they think of me and where they view me, because let's say I don't get called up for that T20, you never sort of have that light at the end of the tunnel that is that close and within touching distance. So someone told me that you're never as close as you think, and you're never as far away as you think. You're always somewhere in the middle. So to sort of get the opportunity to go up there was pretty cool, and it definitely left me with a taste of it, wanting more.
And mate, 2020 cricket, obviously the way you play it, and speaking with Cos and that's he's a huge fan of yours. One of the hardest people he's seen hit the ball, and you absolutely whack him. You've shown that out on Adelaide Oval as well. How do you view the game at 2020 and taking your game, which is such hard hitting game and scoring off every ball? Do you take that back into one day cricket and into 4-day cricket as well? How does your mindset sort of change going through the comps?
I have three basics. That I sort of worked on quite a fair bit with Cos. Is I've got to have a solid base. My head's got to be forward, my eyes got to be level, and I've got to play the ball late. And if I do those three things, and I'm getting consistent 2s out of 3s and 3 out of 3s, then I'm doing a lot right. So that way I give myself a license to be more aggressive, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So in 4-day cricket, if big wide one, I drive it and I nick it. If I had a base, my eyes are level, my head was forward and still, and I played the ball late, then I could make peace with that. So I guess that's my sort of process that I always go back to, that I can judge myself on game in, game out.
And when it comes to hitting the ball, obviously, pretty. Those that are watching this would have seen it, but you do smack them. How would you go as a baseballer, do you reckon? Because you got that sort of that bunt through mid wicket that just rockets away to the boundary. You reckon you'd go all right?
Yeah, I used to play a bit of baseball.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, so I'm not sure really. I think I'd be pretty good at the hitting bit. I was always a good hitter, but then all the other facets of the game, like your glove work and your arm, I'd probably be way off, the top boys.
We might have to give that a crack with the Adelaide Giants before you leave. And for Phil Salt, what can we? Obviously, you're going to have a very loyal fan base here from South Australia now. What's next for Phil Salt? What's the future hold coming up?
I'm not sure there's any sort of Nobel Peace Prize coming up. Hopefully I keep getting better. Every sort of competition, keep going one better than I previously have, and if I do that, and I've got a good thing going on, I'll be happy.
No, mate, thank you very much for taking the time out today, and good luck. Hopefully we can see you with the Strikers boys enjoying another BBL trophy, and from there we're getting back in England. Hopefully we can see you in the English colours, hopefully whacking them against everyone else but us.
Hopefully, mate.
Thanks, Salty. Cheers,
Cheers,
mate.
Thanks.